Last week, the United States implemented a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports. The question that I often receive is, well, what does this mean for the final product? Does it mean that the cost of the final product that includes steel and or aluminum will increase by 25%? Hi, I'm Dr. Sarita Jackson, founder and CEO of the Global Research Institute of International Trade. Welcome to another episode of Trade on Tuesdays at 2. Well, the short answer to that question is not necessarily. Here are my 2 tips for today for importers, consumers, as well as those who are exporting goods and are concerned about what the tariffs will mean for the final product of their good in another market. Tip number 1, when it comes to these tariff rates that are placed on different imports and the goods, these tariffs, as in the case of steel and aluminum, are just on the raw material. It doesn't necessarily mean that the cost of the final product will increase by 25% because there are other factors that are taken into consideration, such as the competitive advantage, market conditions, what consumers are willing to pay, the profit margin. These are things that make the final determination as to how much of that percentage of that tariff on the raw material will be passed on to the consumer. And in some cases, a company may just have to absorb some of those additional costs. Tip number 2, let's not forget about other costs outside of tariffs, what we call non-tariff barriers to trade. Now, what I'm going to describe doesn't automatically mean that it is a barrier to trade, but sometimes can be used as a non-tariff barrier to trade. And these are different types of regulations or restrictions, such as sanitary and phytosanitary standards, any technical barriers to trade, such as certifications, any licenses, documentations required to import into a country that may increase the cost. These are the types of things, quotas, which are quantitative restrictions on the amount of a good that is allowed to enter a market. So these are my 2 tips for today. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Trade on Tuesdays at 2.